to be the most neutral map in the game, or at the very least one that we're all very familiar with, Walleye Warehouse. Game 1, let's get into it.
All right, so what I would like to see here is definitely a lot of holding down the specials. You see the end zaps coming out already, and they are definitely going to be popping a whole lot of armors.
Absolutely. The tried and true composition coming out from Team Olive here. We've seen this all over the place, and you already see two going to both sides, and Nike's going to get taken down first. The last one up is Dude, trying to make something happen, and gets at least something for the trouble there, but that is not the opening that Team Olive was looking for. These bubbles are going to be dealt with. Looks like they might be able to get him out there in the mid. The last one's going to have to go away, and just like that, Olive does what they do so well.
I think with those bubbles, I don't know if Legacy was running Object Shredder. I didn't get to see that their builds, but it seemed like Dude was able to pop those very easily against them with restraint.
Absolutely, going to stick on Dude here. See there on the back, it looks like Raziel's actually going back around, does get taken out by Dude, who has not moved from this half of the map the entire game. Finally pushing up a little bit. We talked some, I know in the pregame we've talked some about the anchor role that's played often by teams. Dude is one of the best anchors in the game right now with the way that he holds that back line.
He's very, very smart at where he positions himself. He's very good at just keeping himself alive, and his aim is on point, I think. So it definitely is very good at holding his position and staying there, and people just can't get him out.
The infamous Ghost Suction Bomb going to take out Sendo there, and a couple more for the trouble. Going to power through the rest of those bombs. Soren's going to try to come around and make something happen. Does get one, but Raziel's going to punish that, and this time it's both Sendo and Dude coming in to take this in what looks like a pretty good opening. Now Olive seems like they've got this figured out.
Yeah, it seems like because the 3 down again, they've got him pushed back. Legacy is going to need to have something happening here really soon. You see them trying to go down close, trying to go down mid, trying to go down the back, and Olive just has it covered everywhere.
Absolutely. I love the way that Nike's playing right now. You see there at the top of the screen, pivoting back and forth, knowing what the sloshing machine can do, the pressure that can put up, pivoting between snipe, between that right side, going all the way left, and now helping the teammates with the assist and chewing through that armor like it's nobody's business. The Stingray is up, but this is not the Nike that we usually see. The game plan here seems very clear. Get Nike up there and put pressure on those raised areas.
They don't seem to have an answer for him right now either. You see him sneaking in and holding position. He finally does go down, though. I think it's good that... And there it was. That's it. Okay, never mind.
Absolutely. Too little, too late for them right there. And after that opening where it seems like things kind of just got a little bit out of control, sometimes that opening kerfluffle can make it to where someone goes 3 down. Dude held the position, and we have to draw attention to how important that was. Because Dude was able to get one right there, there were only 2 left. They had to push back, and that prevented them from getting locked out. A big difference between 3 down and 4 down, and you saw right there what getting locked out on that map can do. Yes. I think you were talking about it earlier with Spectre. Walleye, not the easiest to get back in.
Absolutely, yeah. If you see how when Dude held position, not only did he get 1 pick, but he was also able to use his bubbles. And the bubbles on splat zones and all that are very, very oppressive. They paint very well. And especially if you're running special power up on them, they get even bigger and they take more map. Dude was able to push back in with that almost single-handedly and hold down the fort, which allowed Olive a way back in. If he had gone down, which you saw he was extremely weak when he was backing up, if he had gone down, that would have been a very, very different game.
Absolutely. Moving on now to Rainmaker Snapper Canal. This one, I really, really like this. A lot of people complain that in Snapper Canal you don't always get to use most of the map. I feel like Rainmaker is one of those times that you do get to use a lot of the map because you're always trying to focus on protecting your right to prevent pushes. But at the same time, if you don't go left, or their right as the case may be, you can't make a push. Yeah. So you need a lot of movement and a lot of versatility.
Of course. And it's very strange because when this map first came out, everyone was kind of... They didn't know what to do with it because you can't hold the entire map the entire game. This map is so big. We're so used to, like, okay, get map control, take over the entire map, and then we can push. A lot of times people will do that. But you can't do that with this one. It's just too much map to cover, and there's always an option for someone to come back in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. These wonderful graphics once again. So smooth right there. Snapper Canal, Rainmaker, Genesis 5. Give it up one more time to this production team. I'll say that about 5 more times. But here we are again. And it looks like a Pro is going to be coming out. That's not a Forge Pro. that's the vanilla.
I think it's a really interesting choice for Rainmaker because the bubbles are so good for a Rainmaker. You already see Chill. Unfortunate, that Rainmaker, it likes to murder.
The best weapon in the game is the Rainmaker shield. I will defend that until the day I die. You see Hype hanging down here, going to be able to move around and get Dude and not get taken out either. The armor coming in with the assist. Chaining armor is something that has to be mentioned. That's why you run this double end zap comp. It just feels like it's one super long continuous armor. Sendo going in to try to make something happen. A little bit too deep there. Maybe a little bit ill-advised, but it looks like he might have been the last one up, so trying to stall that may have been his game there.
When you saw Dude go in first for that first push, it seemed like he was very much out of position. Maybe there was a little bit of a miscommunication about which way he went. And can we talk about how strong the sloshing machine is still?
Sloshing machine, still a great weapon. Great aim there by Nike, who wisely jumps out. You see that Stingray at the top of your screen is online. I don't know if we'll see it just yet. And as I say that, here it goes. Let's see what the former sniper can do with the longest range weapon in the game.
And it looks like he immediately sniped out that Rainmaker. And we see now that Legacy's going to try to make their push. There's not a lot of map in general. Not a lot of map coverage on this side of this area where it's a very popular push.
Absolutely. Sendo going to try to make something happen on the top of the screen. It's taken out again. Not always wise for approaching a pro like that, but Soren going to converge with the help of Dude, but Dan actually comes across here and gets the punish there. So now it's Dude versus Dan here on the side. Dude going to have to pivot back to the other side to respect the push that was coming from the center. The movement is looking good right now. You're seeing why the double end zap is so popular. They're able to take that map and adjust to what's going on, and just like that, they've taken back mid once again, though these bubbles might have something to say about it.
This whole map control thing on this map has been very back and forth, and it's very important to try and have at least a path paved for yourself, and neither team has really had like a strong path for them to move along.
How did Dude survive that? Dude gonna just continue to pivot back and forth, surviving, but nope, the Rapid Blaster rather, says nope, you don't get away from me. Now going to put a little bit more pressure here up on that Gulch area. Now the Ink Armor comes in. They've got to do something here. You see Soren down there sharking. Soren's going to have the best chance if... Okay, never mind. Nike, you just keep doing your thing.
And we see the Bomb Rush actually coming in here. And I think Chill almost got that pop. Bomb Rush is very strong at it, but not when you're 1v3ing a Rainmaker, when the other team has some Object Shredder on.
No, that's a very, very good point sensor, though, I will say. Dan going to get pushed back there by Nike, and it looks like they actually pulled back a little bit. I'm kind of surprised that knowing that they had a 2-on-2 situation, or even a 3-on-2, they didn't go in. But it looks like they are rewarded. That's another 3-down situation. If they can get Sendo out of the way, which they are not able to, actually, they might have had something going there, but Sendo, so often, the tried and true, making them pay for not taking them down with those first couple shots.
The Blaster takes out another one, and I think the Blaster's movement is really what's getting to them right now, which, speaking of, with the other Blaster that also has some good movement. But it looks like that right now the map is not being... The map's starting to go a lot green.
Ooh, that was a very important kill that Raziel had to get there. They're going to lose the lead here, but if Dude had taken out Raziel, that might have gone even further. Going to run all the way up to 18. A very, very strong push. Anytime you get it in the vicinity of that pillar, you can call that a good spot. This is not a Black Belly Rainmaker. That's a pretty hefty push. A long road for Legacy to climb.
This is going to be very, very difficult. They are going to have to chain those specials perfectly to shut down this machine that is Team Olive.
Absolutely.
I think that we already see 1 down. I think it's going to be very difficult for them. 2 down now on the side of Olive. They're running for their lives.
Wow, Soren just continually staying alive in that situation. 2 went down, but the one that was left was a very sneaky and quick end zap. They do have still a pretty good position here. It needs to be said. It looks like they sent one up there to the top, and I think it got taken out. Now Hype's going to move in and take out Sendo. They have Dan up there at the top as well. If Dan can put some pressure on, but here comes the Stingray, and Nike, as he so often does, putting that push to bed. There's only 2 up now. Raziel is really far away. Going to try to put some pressure on. They did have somebody who snuck behind. They have some jumps in. That's 2 down. But the Rainmaker is going to sit back there, get taken out. They're going to have to jump back in very quickly here. A couple seconds.
This is a 2v2.
Still not able to get the kill onto Soren. Soren's going to pivot back around here, and that's going to be it. I don't think they have anyone near who can push it, and that is going to be a closer than you'd think game. But Team Olive doing exactly what they needed to. No hesitation on Nike jumping back, standing in that circle where you can't hit me, but my infinite range Stingray can certainly hit you.
That Stingray was definitely the game changer in that. They had such a strong push set up. You saw 3 up, all pushing, pressuring Olive right back into their spawn. And then it's a Stingray, man. You call it the GG Ray for a reason.
The GG Ray. And for those of you who aren't as familiar with these Splatoon terms that we're throwing out right now, with Rainmaker, every time the Rainmaker gets taken down, you have to re-pop that big shield around it. And that's a pretty bulky shield. You can get it done if you have enough people up, but it takes your momentum away. It usually takes 2 people if you want to make a quick push, unless you have a bomb rush or something like that. But that kill, even though it was only 1 kill in a 1v3 situation, it was enough to slow them down, to get the respawns to come back out, to allow them to reposition and put that one to bed. So, hey, there's a reason that the sloshing machine is so good and why so many people feel less than positively about the Stingray.
It's with Stingray, it's definitely a very oppressive thing. It can be in the meta, especially on things like tower control. It can stop your push so quickly if you aren't wary of it, and if you don't have something that can counter it. Usually another Stingray is what has to counter it,
yeah,
unfortunately.
That's kind of where it's at right now. And it's so funny, you know, the Stingray was so bad when the game first came out, to where if you had Stingray as a special, you often changed weapons. But now it's stack them.
Yeah, please, as many Stingrays as possible if you can. Because I remember with heavy splatling, when you had a sprinkler and you had a weapon that could build special very quickly, but you didn't really want to build special
because it was the old Stingray.
You had a Stingray.
I miss the old Stingray.
It was a sad time for the heavy splatling.
Deal with it. All right, moving it now, and we see a roller come out. No, this is the exact same comp from Olive. Your eyes aren't deceiving you, but we're seeing a roller come out from Dan. Dan was making some big plays in that last game. You saw Dan get up in Olive's, I guess, spawn area, putting a lot of pressure there. We'll see if that's the goal here as well. I know some roller mains that we know don't like this as much, but hey, maybe they can make it happen.
Yeah, it looks like it's already not looking fantastic for them, but we see I think what's gonna be key. They didn't do poorly last match.
Everyone died there at the start. Goodness.
Everybody died. They weren't doing poorly. It just happens that Olive clutched that out just a little better than Legacy did. They had slightly better positioning, probably a little bit better communication.
Down at the bottom of your screen there, I don't know if you saw that, but Sendo just got an incredible turnaround direct. Again, if you're not familiar with the blaster class of weapons, they do area of effect damage if you hit somebody near with burst damage, but if you hit directly in front of them, like that, thank you, Sendo, it's a one-hit kill for most of the blasters. Not the rapid blasters, but the big blasters. See, dude not able to get away here, and this is some good control. They're going on tower here, and I'm not sure I like that. She'll have the opportunity to push down on that left side and get some paint. Maybe there was a call out. You do see Nike go down there as well. Now, Sendo going to try to make something with the armor that he has. Going to have to push back here. Soren coming up as well. Soren going to get taken down. Sendo gets taken down by the curling bomb, and now Dude is the last one who can make something happen here. Takes the armor off Dan, but now the Stingray coming in once again. Dude actually is able to take out Raziel there, and they actually haven't taken the lead off of that.
They were on their side of the map, and I think that was in part of it because the tower had to reset all the way back to neutral. Usually what is advised is when the tower is resetting back to neutral, as long as you're not facing a bunch of pressure, is to let the tower do its thing until it gets back to mid, then hopping on it, because then you can push out and actually paint up the map, put on pressure, hold your ground.
Right, and if you aren't sick of hearing the term paint control or turf control, now you will be by the end of our broadcast tomorrow, but it really is the name of the game. Turf is defense, turf is offense, turf is movement, turf is reloading. It really is everything. Turf is love, turf is life. As we see not a lot of turf here for Legacy, who are just trying to get their bearings after that.
The map is looking very green right now. We see Nike holding position. That was, wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, looked very painful. So now we're going to see Legacy. They're probably going to try to take back their side, again, build up their specials, and then they're going to push back in.
Right. You see Dan in a really unfortunate spot there down in Trench, trying to come up. The roller isn't a weapon that can make its own magic happen. A lot of times it needs something like this ink armor that it has right now, or it needs turf control to get in and make things happen. Dan was kind of stuck there for about 30 seconds, now trying to move in, and now what? Has to retreat back to the other side, and that's one reason why people don't like rollers as much on this map, or even in this game, truly. The roller does need a little help to get what it does done, and there was no help to be had.
It still has difficulty coming off of ledges, even though you've got that flick. The flick is not quite as reliable as it was last game. So you'll see here now they're going to put a lot of pressure on their spawn and have one person riding, building up a special. Probably Nike, who has his Stingray ready, and he's going to support from tower.
Absolutely. And, you know, you talked earlier about how Legacy is great at coordinating their specials and building up their specials. That's a common theme in Splatoon 2, is the ability to just very quickly get out specials and really the necessity of using them and making these pushes. The best way to stop that is to put the kind of pressure that Olive has put on them the entire game. They've given them no paint to work with. You don't get special points if you paint stuff that you've already painted, but Olive isn't letting them even get back to mid. I mean, they finally worked their way back here now with a minute left, and maybe they can make something happen, but when they finally do get to mid, it just seems like they're getting taken down.
By the time they got back there, they got everything set up. Olive was already back in. And again, they did what I was talking about, at least, where they step off of tower, let it reset by itself, and then go forward and paint the map. So now you see they have a lot more map control because of that.
There's some map control here. Sendo going to wait around there. Sharking Tower is a blaster. Well, who'd have thunk it, right?
Also, we see that Nike is definitely going to be hanging back a lot right now. He has that Stingray up, which is very powerful in tower control. He's probably going to be hanging back mostly towards spawn.
Absolutely. You see Nike still alive. Don't be surprised if we see a super jump here. Nike is waiting there and might actually get taken out by this Stingray. Nike going to wait as long as he can and gets taken out. Something might... This is the chance I'm looking for. Nike's not there, although he does run a lot of special saver, so we'll see how close he is here. But nope.
Yeah, that you saw 1, 2, 3 down.
Taking care of business. Tap, 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 and that is a 3-0 for Team Olive, flying all the way from various countries in Europe. Not even just one. I believe it's 4 different countries represented right now by Team Olive. Dude's in the UK, Finland, Soren is France, and then Nike's Germany?
That sounds about right.
Twitch chat, please roast me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is.
Just roast 9 anyways.
Yeah,
just about everything.
Please do. That's what I'm here for. But, you know, Olive is one of the big storylines in this tournament, right? They've not had the success recently that we've been accustomed to seeing from Olive. It's gone from first and second to maybe third, fourth, fifth, right around there, and I know that's not up to the standard of their play. If you followed Chimera in Splatoon 1 or Squid Squad Spades or any of the teams that these players have been associated with, they've always been there at the top. And the last LAN that they went to, it was a Splatoon 1 LAN, but they didn't perform as well as a lot of people thought they were, and Twitter had a storm over it. But the point I'm trying to get at is a win here over a fully strengthed STDX against, well, I guess now we got to say against Saffron Rice, who just walked through what we thought was going to be a horrifying pool. It was a horrifying pool. We played in it.
Yes.
A win for Olive here would really get them back to where they're used to being. It would cement them with their legacy here in Splatoon. And we see people now already congratulating them. They're walking down here, and business as usual for them, it looks like. They got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. Legacy is a very tough team to beat, but they did it with dominance, it seemed. Yeah. Legacy couldn't really get back in for the most part, or when they did, it was immediately shut down by Stingray or by someone got a double or anything like that. And they just couldn't seem to get set up to do what they normally do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? The good teams find ways to take other teams' strengths and make them not so strong.
That's how you have to do it. You have to be oppressive. You have to shut them down. In this game, I think the aggression or aggressive meta is a lot more dominant than it would be to be defensive or anything like that.
Right. You can't play passively in Splatoon 2. I feel like there's a difference between being defensive and being passive. Like, you can be defensive. You can sit back. You can dig your heels in, hold your position, make them come to you, force the mistakes, and then kind of converge on it. That you can do. That's defense, and I think that that's all right. It's passive play. You can't just sit back, hold on to some turf, kind of willy-nilly build your special, and move in cautiously, because passive play, the opponent gets to set up how they want to come and attack you. And if you're being passive, if you're not calling out, if you're not moving, if you're not positioning yourself properly, you will get beaten up, just taken down.
You get a lot more time to communicate what you want to do, where you want to go, all of these things. And even though your team has had plenty of time to set up, because you've been passive and you've got your position, you've just let the other team potentially see where everyone is, get the edge on that, and move in when they're going to be a lot more aggressive.
Right, see where everyone else is, and if you're being passive about your part of the map, and a lot of these maps, there's a whole lot of turf that they can take and build up their specials too. And as important as specials are on defense, they're equally important on offense. You need specials if you're going to make those big prolonged pushes that we're so used to seeing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to take a short break here, just real quick, waiting